We've been hijacked as creators. It's time to manifest what you want instead of being a manifestation machine for the controllers. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean, and I help people to navigate their spiritual awakening so they can stay on a conscious path of ascension. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so that you catch all my videos to support you on your awakening journey. Now, if you saw my video last Tuesday, I was sharing with you what Archangel Michael told me about how we are actually co-creating our reality with the controllers instead of co-creating with angels and higher beings of light who are here to support us. So I've been thinking a lot about this, and I want to share some insights with you guys that I've had as I've been contemplating this for the last few days. The first thing is that we are so conditioned to believe that we have to manifest everything all by ourselves. Now, we've been lied to and told that we are the only life in this universe, and therefore by default, we end up unconsciously co-creating with the evil controllers who want to use our energy to manifest their dystopian world of AI totalitarianism. So how does this happen? Well, let's start with a few basics. Everything that gets created or manifested is done so in a co-creative way. There are many forces that operate in synergy with each other to produce whatever gets manifested. Plants are a great example of this. A seed manifests into a plant with the synergistic cooperation of air, sunlight, water, and soil. A seed cannot manifest itself into a plant all by itself. It needs to be in a co-creative relationship with benevolent forces that are aligned with its true nature. Now, we humans are known to be powerful creators and co-creators, but we have been hijacked. We have had our capabilities as creators hijacked by the dark forces that control this planet. So let's talk about how we can begin to free ourselves and restore our ability to manifest what we actually want as natural human beings. I want to start with the simple progression of how manifestation occurs at a metaphysical level. The first thing that happens is that we generally feel inspired or motivated by a feeling or an emotion. That feeling instantly unifies with a corresponding thought or belief. Together, the feeling and the belief signal to the universe what your intention is. The universe then supplies you with the ingredients necessary for that thought and feeling to manifest. These ingredients can come in the form of ideas, circumstances, contacts, signs, and otherwise. There is literally no limit to what can be provided in order for you to manifest whatever it is that you intend. So you basically have three simple essential parts to manifestation: the emotion, the thought or belief, and the ingredients necessary to bring it all together into a manifested reality. So let's look at how the cabal, the dark forces, and the reptilians utilize these simple universal principles to control us and to hijack us as creators for their own purposes. They primarily use the forces of education, the media, and religion. Education is used to establish for us a baseline truth of what reality is and of what is and is not possible. We spend anywhere from 12 to 20 years being firmly indoctrinated into this reality. This forms our basic, fundamental system of beliefs about what reality is. Once they have us in a state of revering the educational system as being like a god, they can change it around however they want in order to force us into the next reality that they want us to believe in. Now let's talk about the media. The primary job of the media is to mix our thoughts and emotions together in very specific ways. This is to force us to manifest and co-create exactly what is needed for their very dark purposes. And I always want to remind you guys that the media now consists of the mainstream media and its echo chamber of social media. So the main purpose of social media is to affirm whatever the main media is telling us to think and feel. And this can be done with real humans, but it can also be done with fake bots. So when you read all of those comments on social media sites, you should know that not all of those comments are necessarily human. So the main media puts out the thought, and then social media either affirms or denies its acceptance. And if there is too much denial, it will just be censored. I mean, they allow a limited bit of denial so that we'll still think that we're in control. But they always make sure that we believe that the majority of humans agree with them. And that's very easy to do using bots, fake humans, and censorship. This is how they manipulate us. So here's what this all looks like in a nutshell when it comes to the media. You have terrifying and negative thoughts injected into your consciousness 24/7 by the main media in all of its forms. This is to firmly establish whatever reality they want you to co-create with them. This is designed to create immediate emotions of fear, anger, and anxiety. And social media also serves as a platform of intimidation. You will be rejected if you don't go along. And that's just to reinforce the negative emotions and beliefs. So once you allow yourself to buy into all of the hate, the fear, and the anger, along with the corresponding beliefs, you have now entered into a co-creative partnership with the controllers. You are therefore sending a message to the universe that this is what you embrace and agree with, even if it's miserable. And then all of the necessary ingredients for manifestation are provided, and voila! We find ourselves in exactly the same miserable situation that they first injected into our consciousness. And your life will then become a reflection of whatever belief and reality they want you to manifest. Now remember, you have to view this from a metaphysical level of energy and higher consciousness. If you try to approach this from a physical level alone, you will never be able to understand how to free yourself from this dungeon of negativity. Now, I try to stay out of politics, but my goodness, you guys, there is so much fear, hatred, anger, division, and negativity. I mean, it's really off the charts. So I want to give you guys something to think about. If you find yourself trapped in this political dungeon of fear and hatred, I want you to ask yourself this really simple question. Whatever you fear and whomever you hate, ask yourself, how did you get there? I guarantee you that you got there because the media told you to. And that, my friends, is the main reason that all this hatred and division and fear and anger is manifesting. Because the majority of people do not think for themselves. I'll give you a good example. I was watching someone else's YouTube video. I can't even remember which one it was, but there was a comment left underneath by a woman who was sharing that she was trying to talk to her mother about the Great Awakening, and here was her mother's response. Her mother said, "I'm just going to wait for the news to tell me what to think." That's what she said, guys. And unfortunately, that is how so many people are living their lives and calling that just normal. Now, we human beings are powerful creators. If we collectively hold the thoughts and beliefs that the controllers instill into us, we will manifest all of it by virtue of our thoughts, our emotions, and the law of attraction. And that's exactly what they want us to do. Right now, they want us to manifest chaos, destruction, and being controlled in every aspect of our lives. So then we unwittingly co-create this very situation with the controllers by virtue of our own thoughts and emotions, which we have absorbed from the input that they give us. And then what happens is we ask our angels and the higher beings of light to come and help us out. We ask that they either rescue us or come and help to make things better for us, while we continue to dutifully co-create the misery that is fed to us every single day by the thoughts and emotions that we hold within ourselves. So the beings of light and higher consciousness are limited by our propensity to continue acting as co-creators with the dark forces that are controlling our planet. Now, I know that it's easy to get discouraged and say, yeah, but there's like billions of people that are co-creating this all over the world. So what difference can we as light workers make? But you only think you don't make a difference if you are still living from the same belief system that I mentioned at the beginning. You cannot incorporate the miserable reality that the controllers have installed in our minds and at the same time expect to make profound changes in our reality. That's why I said that you need to be metaphysical, which means beyond the physical, because everything that gets created in the physical begins from a metaphysical or non-physical place. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say that the current physical circumstances define whether or not we can make a difference. Because if those circumstances define it, then no, we can't. Now, I have made the mistake in the past of orienting my life with the dire scene that the media projected. And then I found out it was all for naught. I mean, do you guys remember how a few years ago we were all going to die from Ebola? And then I think before that there was a swine flu, and then there was some other disease, and there was this big ruckus around it, and fear and anxiety and all this stuff projected. Well, where'd that all go, right? See, the thing is, that stuff is all still around you guys, but it's not a problem because they have a whole new script for us now. I remember being terrorized by the media nonstop after 9/11. I mean, living in the DC area, it was like every minute there was anthrax, there were chemical weapons, bioweapons. I mean, they terrorized us constantly, and then none of it happened. And yes, I admit I fell for all of it at the time. And it was all just a big fat distraction to cover up what was really going on behind the scenes. Now, right now, they are writing a very weird narrative for all of us. You can literally watch them writing the script. And we as a collective dutifully fill our roles as instructed every single time. So I have two suggestions for you guys. The first one is to change how you look at all of this stuff. Instead of mentally filling your role by playing it all out in your mind, look at it from a cosmic perspective. If you know that you are of extraterrestrial origin, then be that. Stop questioning yourself if you are a starseed or a wayshower. I mean, it's time to accept that once and for all. And if you know that you came here as a light worker, stop doubting yourself. It's time to exercise your power of certainty and purpose. And the reason this is so important is because when you center yourself in the true perspective of who you really are at a cosmic level, you can look at this whole thing from a much higher level of consciousness. So from that place, I want to suggest that instead of allowing yourself to get caught up in all of it emotionally, that you practice watching how they unfold the narrative and write the script. And pay attention to how most of today's news is not only about what to think, it's also about what to feel. I mean, it's total programming, you guys, all of it. Just stand back and be the observer so you can gain perspective on exactly how this script is being written. Imagine yourself as being an extraterrestrial witness to all of it. Because if you observe this from a neutral place, I think you're going to be shocked at the level of clarity you're going to achieve about what is really going on. Now, before I give you my second suggestion, I need to address the third force that the controllers use to entrap us, which is religion. Religion is used to convince us that we are powerless. It often acts as spiritual propaganda. We are basically told that there is this God up there who is completely separate from us. And we are often told that this God is exceedingly judgmental and very unfair. We are told that this invisible God is in charge of everything and that we control nothing. We are told that our role is to follow whatever instructions the religions give us, and how well we do in that effort will either be rewarded or punished when we die. And finally, we're told not to worry because eventually some savior will come and fix this entire mess, even though that has never happened. All of this serves to convince us that we are basically powerless and have no real power to affect any outcomes at a higher metaphysical level, because that's God's domain, not ours. So education sets the framework for our reality. The media decides the content of that reality. And religion teaches us that we are powerless to change it at a metaphysical level. We're supposed to wait for a savior to come and fix it. I mean, what a scam, you guys. It's no wonder we're so easily discouraged. Oh, and there's one more thing. Religions teach us that God is the only creator. We're not creators. So here's what I suggest you do to counter the belief in metaphysical powerlessness that religions indoctrinate us into. Begin to exercise your right, your absolute right to create in this universe by entering into a co-creative relationship with the angels, the universe, and the higher beings of light who are here to help us. You need to start by creating and co-creating your own life as something that brings you joy. You need to purposefully defy in your consciousness whatever it is that the media is telling you to create. You decide what will make you happy. You decide what thoughts and emotions you are going to hold in your being. And then you can enlist the help and co-creative support of the universe to bring you the ingredients that you need to manifest that. This is how you reprogram yourself and teach yourself through experience that you are indeed a creator. And don't make the mistake of allowing the mass population to decide for you what is and isn't possible. Because that's like saying that people who choose to behave like sheep are more powerful than light workers and starseeds. And that's just silly, you guys. And there could very well be powers that we are not even aware of yet that are actually operating for our benefit. The most important thing right now, you guys, is that we deprogram ourselves from all of this stuff and straighten out our own consciousness. So focus on restoring your own power as a creator first. That is a much better path than waiting around for those who are asleep to decide to wake up. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it out with your friends. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I am here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday with all new videos. With that, I'm sending you all loads of love, light, and positive energy. I will see you guys in the next video. Namaste.